Teitanblood are back from the depths of hell for their fourth studio album, from the Visceral Abyss. Joining me, Mike. How you doing?
I'm good, John. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Teitanblood. What's your history with this band?
None. I haven't got any.
Moving
Do you know
on.
what? No, do you know what? They've always, whenever they always suggested to me on Spotify, come up a
But you
lot.
never thought to check them out.
No, I have checked them out, but I, for whatever reason, whenever I checked them out, I didn't really go into it, and I think I'll sort of justify why in a minute when we're talking about this album. But I never, I never sat down and just went for it. I remember listening to it, and for whatever reason, just not really delving. I don't know why, but no. I can't justify myself. How about you?
I really got into the Baneful Choir. Came out in 2019. It just, as soon as I heard it, it just slapped me around the face, and I was like, "This is incredible, man." They have a very extreme audio assault of death metal going on, and I was when I heard that they were kind of releasing a new album, I got really excited, and it was like, a perfect opportunity to kind of dive into it for the pod. So yeah, I mean, should we jump on in, man? Like, I guess I want to know, now you've given this band some time, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is I didn't realize how long this band had been going. First of all, they formed in I think 2003,
2003,
but
yeah. So they're Spanish as well, aren't they? Which is
they're
quite rare. You don't
Spanish.
really
The
get.
Spanish band. And from what I can see, they take a lot of time between their albums, don't they? It's like what 5 6 years. It's only
Yeah,
their fourth.
I was going to touch on that. Every album has been at least 5 years apart, which, I mean, if you've got the time to do that, that's fantastic, I think.
It seems wild, doesn't it, in this day and age?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Um, how would you classify them, John?
Death death metal, probably. To be as reductive as possible. You could probably go into a bit more of a niche.
Well, I'm gonna go into a bit more of a niche because I was reading about it, and I never knew what this genre. I had a different opinion of what I thought this genre was,
Go
and
on.
war metal.
I saw someone call it war metal, and
Yeah.
I'd actually never really heard of the genre war metal.
Well, I always assumed war metal was just any metal that was lyrically just about war. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, rather than actually sounding like you're going to war.
There's no, it is the definition of it basically is it's like kind of black metal, like first wave black metal, but like mixed with sort of death metal, raw, with a rawness, more of a rawness to it, as opposed to kind of like Black and Death, which is more on the death metal side, but with elements of black metal. This is probably more in the black metal side, but there's the death metal flavor kind of throughout.
You'd put this more in death metal, black metal than death metal, would you?
I know. I think it's war metal. Totally.
You're fully in, and that's why you're
I'm
wearing a
in.
bolt
I'm
thrower
in.
shirt as well. Look, he's gone all in
Yeah, I
on the
know.
war.
I know. I'm really in. I'm really in on the war metal. I thought it would be shit like Iced Earth, like like bands that just sing about like wars.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, man. Because maybe I'll look into war metal or some other bands. Because if this is like a
Yeah.
good representation of what war metal is, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, I
Because
mean
this is
that's what I thought. I thought that kind of like Black Curse. Like I know they came afterwards, but I'd say sonically I got very similar vibes from them.
yeah, not as there's a bit more. There's a bit more. I think with this is a bit more like a sonic assault.
Mm.
Maybe that leans into the kind of war metal more so than Black Curse. But yeah, I definitely hear that, especially in a lot of the motifs going on. So you're a fan then, or is it safe to assume then?
Yeah, I enjoyed this album, man. I found I'm going to say something which sounds quite negative about the album. I really don't mean it in that way. But when I was writing my notes, like I was listening through and like kind of writing notes about the album on a song by song basis, I found it very hard to write notes on it because, and this is going to sound negative, but I don't mean it in that way. it's very similar all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah, like I know exactly what you're saying because in my overall kind of notes, I put that it's not a song that you pick up song like track by track.
Oh,
You put it on and just let it just
that's
smack
yeah,
you for an hour, and then that's kind of it.
yeah. That's it, man. It's like it's a bit of an experience album in that sense that you do to like just be taken on this kind of wild, intense sort of journey with them, but very difficult to kind of pick out individual parts. I don't feel like that's what they were going for. I think it felt
No,
like it was supposed to be just this assault for the duration of the album. Because you think a lot of the songs kind of formulaically how they're kind of put together, very similar, isn't it? It's that kind of a lot of blasts, lots of, and I loved it, lots of kind of like screaming leads and like whammy bar kind of
just wails, guitar wailing
frenzy.
everywhere.
It's all over it, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
it's all over it. It's like the guy must have a fucking great time doing that in the studio and live as well. Like just
yeah.
absolutely going for it.
It's true, man, and also the kind of setup similar. It's almost like one. It's not like one long song, but the songs flow
Yeah.
in and out of each other. Like they'll end with like an atmosphere that builds up into the next track, for example. So it's even a bit difficult to kind of pinpoint. Oh, that's that song. That's that song.
Yeah, yeah. But they've got a guy in the band I saw that just does kind of effects and samples
Yeah, I
and
saw
things as
that.
well.
I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
I think it's predominantly one guy. Is it that NSK guy does bass guitar and vocals?
How does
Um,
this work live? Because like they don't have two guitarists live by the looks of it.
do they play live? Are they a live
I don't
band?
know. I don't know. Because like you'd think with all the wailing, you'd need two guitarists, right?
You'd have thought so, unless he just does the whales in and out and then straight back into the kind of
Yeah, just a small,
blasty
like
bits.
sort of kind of yeah, smaller versions of it. But no, I really enjoyed this. It did take me a minute because when I was going through it, I was enjoying it, but I was like, I can't. As an album goes, it took me a while to get that I wasn't really supposed to like be able to pick out individual songs on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Like I sent it to someone else, and they were kind of like, "Oh, it didn't nothing like grabbed me in terms of like
Yeah.
being able to sink your teeth into it." And it just sort of had to say it's not that experience. It's sort of like
No. No,
it's yeah,
it took me sort of halfway through first listen to realize, hang on, this sounds very repetitive to me. But then I then kind of was like, yeah, but that's the point of it, right? It's supposed to
yeah,
just be this kind of like intense, assault on
and
you. And
it's very intense, isn't it? Like
yeah,
there's almost no let up. It's like you go from like fast to faster, and then even when it does slow down, it's still ridiculously heavy. But like, there's something going on in the production where it literally sounds like the gates of hell have just opened up, and it's
yeah,
just carnage. And but the production on it's perfect for this, isn't it? It's not like
yeah,
it's not overproduced at all, but it's so raw, but so clear as well. They've
yeah.
nailed it, man. They've absolutely nailed it.
You've got that, yeah, you've got the clarity, but you've got the kind of rawness. It's got the organic sort of sound to the drums. And I feel like the probably something that I think is probably a bit undersold, like that you don't kind of pick up on immediately, but like all the effects and samples and weird noises, which is all kind of, I don't say it's buried, but it's mixed in with the guitars to give it that kind of wall of noise type thing to it. Probably adds so much to the overall sound.
Yeah,
I wonder what it would be like if you didn't have all of that stuff going on.
just hearing it as the straight band rather than with all
Yeah, I
the
mean, I think it would still
atmospherics as well.
sound great, to be fair, but I imagine those layers that are added to it, and a lot. The voice is quite affected in places. And there's a lot of like unhinged moments. That reminded me quite Black Curse as well. Like
Yeah,
yeah, in the vocals. But it's a great album, man. It really is. As I said, it took. When I first heard, it, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this as much as I want to, and it just took that adjustment to realize what they're doing on this, and
yeah. I mean, for me, when I put this on, so like it starts with that real Slayer esque riff, and you've got the drums come in, but it's not fully punched. It almost has
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
radio
yeah.
effect on it. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Kind of turned it up a little bit because I thought maybe that was it. Then when it all kicks in, it was probably one of the most
Yeah, yeah.
intense intros that I've heard
Yeah.
in a long time, man. I was like, "Fucking hell!" Like, if this is what the whole album's going to be like, I'm in for an absolute wild ride.
Well, well, I was thinking as well when I listened to it first of all, when that happened, I was like, wow, fucking hell, the production's like flat on this. Like, is this kind of it? And
Yeah,
then and then it kicks in, and the change from it to that is quite organic sounding, even though it's an
yeah,
effect on there. They haven't made it really like over the top, you
no,
know, to then
no.
bring it in. So it sounds, it sounds right, and it doesn't sort of add this overproductionness to something that's actually more kind of raw and, organic sounding.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask you, Mike, because I know you do struggle with it sometimes. Song
Sure.
length.
I I think for this, because of the way the songs are, it was because the album just sort of flowed. I didn't know from when one song ended to the next. So
Yeah,
the whole song length thing, like I didn't really get it. And actually, I haven't looked at the song lengths. I'm assuming they were all pretty long, weren't they?
they're all. Yeah, they're basically like 7 minutes ish. The last track's 14 minutes long.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Um, and but then to be fair, like the last 2 minutes of that is sort of the first like 3 minutes is like a build up, and then the last 2 minutes is sort of like an outro
yeah,
fade out.
yeah,
And then it ends on this kind of like dissonant choir note
yeah.
that
That's
just
cool, man. Like old
yeah
horror movie style vibes, isn't it?
yeah, and it really just put a perfect end on the whole album, man. I couldn't get enough of this. When obviously you've got to be in the mood, because it is proper intense. But
Yeah.
when you're in the mood, there's not much out there that like hits as hard as this does for me
I actually
personally.
found, if I'm honest, of all the times I listened to it, it was maybe only once or twice that I was genuinely in the mood for it.
Oh really?
Yeah, and the other times it wasn't a slog because I knew it was good and up my street. But there was a couple of times into it where it really hit me of what it is and how good it is.
Yeah, but man, it's really good, and like it just shows that you can do death metal because like guitar wise, it's not it's not like Death the band, or like it's not like crazy intricate death metal.
It's very simple
um
riff
it's
wise.
real simple. It's almost like um bit reductive, but like caveman death metal almost. But
Do you remember that band Beharit?
yeah,
It had some of that kind of vibe in there. I know they weren't as fast and as intense in it, but they had that kind of quite primitive sort of
yeah,
vibe. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and the atmosphere as well, they had that as
Yeah.
well in abundance.
Yeah.
But I guess I think what not necessarily carries, but what transforms this band is the drummer. Like,
Yeah, he's unreal, isn't he?
mate, I'd love to see him play live. I think it would be an
Yeah.
absolute watch. The speed that he gets is
Yeah.
insane, absolutely insane.
I love um I love when he brings in the more of like a thrashy fast beat as well.
Yeah, like
And
just
he does
straight
not.
kick snare, kick
Yeah,
snare.
yeah, he doesn't do it for
Yeah,
long often, but it's a nice little change up of pace to go. It's almost he does it on the transition. Like they'll do a slower section, and then to speed up, he'll go into the thrash part, and then he'll go into the blast,
yeah,
and it works really well. And I like that. It kind of straightened up in places, and maybe gave you a slight respite from some of the intensity, but still keeping up the riffage. And it's sort of when he did that, it kind of opened up to you to hear the riffs a bit more because
yeah,
when the blasts are going on and everything else, you can hear the riffs obviously, but they sound so simple over that.
yeah. Well, they basically are. It's almost like a really simplified doom riff, just tremolo picked almost.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what war metal is.
I think there probably is an element of primalness to war metal. I'm
Yeah,
I'm investigating, man, because I was reading the definition. I was like, yeah, it sounds fucking well up my street.
yeah, all right, yeah. I'm up for getting into that as well. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll do a little war metal episode. See what
yeah,
we
man.
can find. I guess it's a bit of a silly question, but do you have a standout song on this?
Do you know what? It was one of those where each song I'd be like, "Yeah, this is my highlight track." Then the next one, but actually maybe it's this one. Um, I liked one that sticks out was "And Darkness for all, Was All." He said it
Hmm.
for all, and it's for all. I thought that was a good song. Really like that. Um, I felt like the last song. I felt like you could listen to the last song and you've kind of not done the album, but I felt like everything that was in the album they threw into the last song as well. So there was a lot of the atmospherics, a lot of the intensity. You had the mix
Yeah,
up of paces as well, samples and things. It felt like a mini version of the album at the end.
yeah, yeah. I'd have to agree. And the way that they actually do mix up the tempos and the pacing is it's done so well. Like it
Mm,
never sounds jarring. You're never like, oh,
no,
how have they gone from like that slow to that fast without it? They've man, they've really nailed it for me. Like, yeah,
I think
I
that's the
had a
drummer,
great time.
John. I think the drummer's just really good at transitioning between speeds. Very
Yeah,
clever.
yeah, really clever, really clever. Um, I think my standout was probably track one, purely because of that intro part. Like,
Oh, really?
I never got sick of hearing that. Every time it would come on, I'd be quite excited, waiting for it to blast again, and it, yeah, it just blew my mind. Um, really enjoyed. One thing that actually didn't go down too well was track four, 700 Dogs from Hell. Not because of me, but my dog
Your dog.
was absolutely fuming when they actually heard the dog barking in it.
Well,
So
that's
that
a
was
that
it's
that
just a
song is
little
literally what
interlude.
it is, isn't it? It's just a load of dogs and sort of atmospheric shit. Like
Yeah,
it's worked. So there is a little cinematic element to this album, isn't there? There's this sort of like
there is.
horror movie vibe, like kind of throughout.
Well, for me, it paints the picture perfectly of like hell opening up,
Yeah.
and they've absolutely nailed it on all fronts, like songwriting,
Mm,
atmospherics,
yeah.
production. Nailed it. Really enjoyed it, man. Really enjoyed it. Any more to say?
No, I think I'm done, man. On this one, it's a great album, man. You got to be in the right mood. But if you want a dose of warm ale, this is where you go.
Yeah, if you know what it is.
If you know what it
Um,
is.
did you? One thing I do want to just bring up quickly. Have you checked their Wikipedia? Sort of like have a look around, a nosy around on it.
I did. Did you see that bit about Dark Throne?
Yeah. So there was all right. So that was another thing I wanted to bring up actually. I look. Did you see the artwork that for it? The album was Circle the Wagons. I
Yeah.
think it came out. When did that come out?
I only
2017
had a
maybe
little
or
look. I
something.
couldn't see that. I couldn't tell what their logo was in it.
It's a patch on the guy's leg.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Let,
I think there's a couple bands thrown in there. I think I can maybe see a Bolt Thrower logo in the back.
that's
Um,
pretty. That's pretty.
but yeah, it's
That's
pretty
pretty.
big.
Especially for a band like if Dark Throne are doing it as like a homage thing, they're picking a relatively modern band.
Well, 2003. But yeah,
Yeah, I know, but like if they've included Bolt Thrower, you know, like that's quite a you know what I
mate,
mean?
it's a big compliment.
It's a massive compliment. So I'm trying to find it. I want to see the. I want to see it. I want to see
Dark
it.
Throne Circle the Wagons.
Oh, here we
The other
go.
thing the other thing I was going to say, Mike, did you look at their members list, their past members?
They haven't had many, have they?
No. One of them was
Yeah.
called Tyrant Spear Carrier of Barbaric Blood Sacrifice. And then the other
Right.
guy was just called Juan Carlos.
Okay. Right.
He was like, I
I
can't
mean,
be asked to come up with a name.
No, no. And the other guy, it's like you wouldn't have kicked him out of a name like that, would you?
Nah.
I mean, what's he going to do with a name like that other than be in a band like this?
Exactly. Exactly. Cool. All
Assume that
right.
is his real name. I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, yeah. Birth certificate. Did you see the Dark Throne thing?
I can't. I'm trying to find like an image where I can zoom in. Oh, here we
I'll
go.
send
Here we go. I thought I
if you're
saw
looking
corn on there. I thought I saw that he had corn written on there.
on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah.
says
Does it? What's
Morn.
it say?
It says Morn.
Morn. Morn.
I thought from a distance, I was like, hang on, they've done it. They've done all the good ones. I can't fucking find it.
On the left leg that's sort of on the floor. There's a patch. It says Teitanblood there.
Oh, do you
If
know
you
what? Again, the image I've got is not going all the way. Oh, fuck it. Don't. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at home, if you try and find it, listen, if you're new here, smash that subscribe button. We put out videos Wednesdays and Fridays reviewing the latest and greatest, maybe, metal around here. Let us know in the comments if you check this one out, what you think of it. Be good to know that. And we'll catch you in the next one.